house bands.
Hello there, this is Simon from Duran Duran. I'm here with Katy. You're listening to Whoosh, and that was Houseplants. What else by the fabulous Squid?
I had not heard of Squid.
Nothing like starting the show off with a bit of anxiety.
Yes, seriously, that's what I wrote on my thing. I wrote, this song gives me major anxiety.
It's edgy.
It's not that I didn't like it. They're from, this band is from Brighton, England. They were formed in 2017, and in 2019 they released their debut EP called Town Center. It was critically acclaimed, so good for you, Squid.
They got another. I think they got a really. There's another track by them that I really like. It's called. Hold on. Let's see what it is. It's called The Cleaner. Actually, so they're very. They've got this kind of suburban, domestic vibe going on.
They do. Their tour was canceled because of COVID. So
oh, what a bummer.
I think in 2021 they're looking to get back, hopefully.
You know, one of the band looks like a really young Ed Sheeran.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I do. I sure do. I noticed that too.
Yeah.
So I hear you're back in lockdown, my friend.
Yeah, apparently so. Yes.
How's that going for you?
Well, I mean, we had a map. I think most people did this last night. So what happened was lockdown was imposed at midnight last night in the UK. We sort of had a bit of a end of freedom party. It was kind of like it felt like Christmas Eve or something. It's really weird. It was so funny, and we got a load of booze up, and we ordered a takeaway and made loads of sausages, and only slightly broke the rule of six. With two 2-year-old, with a 2-year-old and a 1-year-old.
That's
well, apparently it does in England, but but we're in Wales, of course, aren't we? Yes. But no, we had a really good time. My daughter stayed up until about 5 a.m. playing. What's that game? It was playing Shithead, and then another game called Gribblino or something.
What's Shithead?
Shithead is a card game. It's know. It's a very simple card game, and it's very funny. And the person, it's not. The thing about Shithead is, unlike most games, it's not about winning the game. It's about who loses the game, because that person is Shithead. Nobody remembers who's out. It's one of those games where you have to get rid of all your cards, right? So the first person to get rid of all their cards is out, and they technically would be the winner of the game. However, it's the person who's the last person left in who all the focus of attention is on. So in a way, the loser is the winner in Shithead. It's quite interesting.
Is it a speed game? You have to get rid of your... Oh, because
it takes bloody ages, especially if you play with 2 packs.
Do you know the game Spit?
No.
Oh, sounds like...
I know Uno.
What?
I know Uno.
I know Uno. Do you know Crazy Eights?
No.
Gin?
Rummy, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Now we play that a lot.
I love Rummy. Do you know how to knock?
What's a knock? What's knocking?
Rummy.
No, how do you knock?
Can't remember.
Okay, that's cue for another song.
Let's go. What our next song? I'll pronounce this. There's some unpronounceables this week for me.
The unpronounceables.
The unpronounceable is I love this artist. It's an artist called Tora. The track is called "Call Your Name." I loved the song. I loved her, and I thought the video was really moving. She's a London-based artist who broke into
gotta
the
be
scene
London.
of March this year with her debut release called "Vain." It's known as a sharp yet incredibly soulful song.
Yeah.
It came with a compelling video.
It starts off with this very, very, very cool tenor saxophone kind of hook, like a little riff. Really, I think it's a tenor. It could be a baritone actually, but you don't get that very often these days. And it's used as a section, as a kind of as a harmonic section, and it reminds me a little bit of the. Do you remember the from the mid '80s? They had a great album called Infected, and it reminds me on some of the stuff on that album Infected. Maybe we'll play some of that one day when I get bored of new music. But this is Tora and Call Your Name. It's a cool track. Check it out.
This one defense of mine and call it broken. Habits of holding shots and claiming I was chosen. We wait by the thorns we grow. Rest assured I know I'm burdened by assumption. Call your name out high till I feel forever and not just a night. Back to our waters, only good when you're tired. Last time you paid the price and when you took advice. Rest assured I know I'm burdened by assumption. Call your name out high till I feel forever and not just a night. All that I have on the lights are out telling you I've tried. But if it gets a dance when you're not in my sight, please can you tell me why? They don't write stories about women like me. Say that the flow misses our feet. Don't pass go no, straight to jail please. Heard about euphoria, something about release. Such things don't stay around here. We only know about it. Counterfeit love, gift just enough. Make me believe there's more to us than a conditional tie. But what's worse? Same old story we serve. Call your name out high till I feel forever and not just a night.
there, that was Tinariwen with Claire Ashell. Now, tell us a little bit about Tinariwen, please.
Okay.
Tinariwen.
I'm pretty excited that I think I would have pronounced that correctly.
Tinariwen.
Tinariwen is a
I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. I'm just guessing, but I'm a very, very persuasive guesser.
You're a very good pronouncer, too. So Tinariwen is a group of Tuareg musicians from the Sahara
That's
Desert
it.
region of Mali.
Tuareg.
They were formed in 1979 in Tamanrasset, Algeria, but returned to Mali after a rebellion.
I thought you were going to say Tamagotchi.
No, remember my Tamagotchi?
I do remember. Sorry, I don't want to be. I don't want to. Yeah.
Since 2001, they have added several younger Tuareg musicians who did not go through the military conflicts the older musicians did, but have contributed to the collective's multi-generational evolution. See, so I really like that. They didn't get rid of old members, but they added new members who could bring a different
They're
sound.
like a kind of collective, aren't they? And I think people like Damon Albarn have done stuff with them. You know,
they opened for the Stones at Slane Castle.
Oh, nice.
That's pretty good. And in 2012, they won a Grammy for Best World Music Album for their album Cecily. So even though this isn't a new artist, I'm going to say that this is probably new to many of our listeners, and I love that you do that you throw in an artist that wouldn't have gotten the exposure perhaps from a mainstream program such as ours.
Yeah.
That's what I say.
I do too.
Mister, I have some questions for you.
Would you please ask me?
I would. And if you have a question for either Simon or Katy or whoever, we can answer for other people. Please send it to Whoosh Radio. That's WHOOOSH radio at gmail.com. And we'll be happy to answer. This question is from Mike from New Jersey. Mike is from New Jersey.
Hello, Mike. How is New Jersey today?
New Jersey.
Why is it? Do you have beautiful autumn, sort of bright sunshine and clear, frosty, almost? Well, we started off with fog this morning, but it's turned into the most beautiful, crisp autumn day.
Well, I would say geographically, I'm about an hour from Mike, and it is a beautiful day, and it's actually warm.
Where you are, I think on the north east coast of America, you get some of the most beautiful seasons. I've always thought that I love the seasons up there. You get proper springs and proper autumns and proper winter and proper summer.
Right. That's why I could never move to the West Coast.
Can't bring myself to say fall.
Why?
Mind you, well, I don't know. I like
autumn.
No. It's autumn is such a lovely word to say, but fall does make sense because the leaves fall from the trees. It's funny. The temperature dropped by about 10 degrees here last night, or maybe 5, and you could visibly see. You could just see how many leaves just went. Okay, that's it. I'm done, and let go and fell off the trees.
I think I've told you that my house is not large, but it's nice. I like my house. It's good enough for the 4 of us. And anyway, we had one tree. Like one big tree. Right. And I woke up the other morning and they were cutting my tree down.
You're joking. Who can do that? No. Wait a minute. Wait. They can. Can they? Did you go and talk to them?
I did. They said it's dead. It's going to fall on your house. I got to take it down. I'm like, what? It's my one tree.
What? It had no leaves on it?
No, it didn't.
Oh. So it's a dead tree.
Well, it had leaves over the summer. I don't know.
I was going to say, I can make a really great suggestion. When you get one tree chopped down, then why don't you plant 5?
Well, I don't have room for 5, but I have room for 1. So I'm going to, get another. And I said to Brian, ask them if they're going to give us another tree. And he's like, no.
I tell you what, trees really look beautiful. I think they would go well with your climate as well. There's some birch trees, and they have like a kind of birch. Birch has that kind of peeling bark.
Yeah.
You get silver birch, but you can also get golden birch. It has where the trunk is white and gold. They're so beautiful. I mean, amazing trees. They look incredible. I've only seen them a few times, but if you I reckon if you go to a good old garden shop or an arboreologist, you could ask them about the golden barked birch.
I think E.T. the extraterrestrial was an arborologist.
Was he? He was. Yes, you're right. And by the way, and the other good thing about birches is they grow really quickly. So you get a decent size size tree quite quick. But if you plant the biggest tree you can afford. That's what I would say.
Okay.
Because otherwise that they cut yours down. I'm not surprised. But if it was going to fall on your house, then let's face it, it's probably better having a hole in your view than a hole in your roof.
Point well taken. So let's go back to Mike from New Jersey's question.
Right.
Simon, with every great album is a great producer. Can you tell me a bit about Colin Thurston and some of the things he suggested in the studio that ultimately made Rio one of the greatest pop albums of all time? Katy, what were your memories of listening to Rio for the first time? Love you both, Mike from New Jersey.
So Colin was I think. Well, we picked Colin because he'd worked with Bowie. He'd been an engineer. I think it was on Heroes. I mean, I'm a little rusty on this knowledge, so do feel free to correct me if you're so inclined. Okay. But I do remember that we liked his production style, and he brought he used some very interesting pieces of equipment. The Eventide harmonizer, the now very famous Eventide harmonizer. Did you watch Cobbler Bob? Yes, you did.
I did.
And did you watch the one after with David? What was it called? Warsaw. The David Bowie with Brian Eno and Tony Visconti. That's hilarious.
No, but Brian said it was the best Bowie voice he'd ever heard. The guy.
Yeah, it's. But watch the next one. It's hilarious. It's good. It's used. Anyway, I mean, but he brought the Eventide harmonizer, which is what reminded me of that, and which is a piece of equipment. But he brought a sizzle to the music, to the sound of the band, which I don't think we'd really had before. And it was to do with some of the bits of equipment he used. And he did things like he had some very, very modern ideas that we wouldn't even have thought of. Things like he took one of those little Oratone speakers, and we had a snare drum. But he didn't really like the sound of it. He thought we wanted a different kind of sound. So he taped this Oratone speaker underneath a snare drum, played the actual original signal of Roger hitting the drum through the Oratone, but recorded the sound it made on top of the snare. So all you heard, what happened when you play a beat underneath the snare drum, it just makes the snares, the little metal things that rattle, it just made them go. And he got this amazing sound from it. Things like that. He was very, very innovative. He was into dropping things on piano strings and all kinds of stuff that he'd learned, I guess, from working with Bowie. People, knowledge and inspiration gets shared that kind of way. So he made everything seem very possible. He also had this incredible idea, which is to get a big a trunk full of percussion instruments. And percussion instruments like the vibraphones, like on the song "Last Chance on the Stairway" on the first album. Yeah. There's a vibraphone solo. Is that on the first album or is it on the second?
Second. Album?
There you go. That's how much I know.
Who's lighting the cigarette at the beginning of Last Chance on the Stairway? Is that you?
No, that's always Nick. Nick's sound effects, wasn't he?
Oh,
He's the guy he's the one who touched his girlfriend up the bum and got the at the beginning of
Hungry Like the Wolf.
Hungry Like the Wolf, yeah. But anyway, so he got that he got the vibraphones, which ended up on Last Chance on the Stairway, and the ocarina, which went onto the chauffeur. Things like that, wonderful, wonderful touches that really made the album sparkle.
Had you ever played an ocarina before?
No, I just learned it on. I had just. You know, you can simple things. You can just, if you've got an idea of what you want to do with it musically, it's not that difficult. Really, it's not that
says
difficult.
someone who's musically talented. Which
I mean, you know,
not.
and I'd pick up any instrument still, and I bet within half an hour I could get a tune out of it.
You probably could.
And a tune that would make sense. But you know that on the chauffeur, it's got that do 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 do, which is, I think, was a very sort of, that's very baroque, isn't it? Don't you think?
Yeah.
It's a bit. It's very you know, classic. It's pre-classical music. It's early. It sounds like early music. I love that.
I love that song. Well,
So that's really what that. So that's, I think that gives you a good insight into what Colin Thurston did for Duran Duran.
did you choose to work with him because of Bowie? Was that something that excited you guys?
Well, I think we needed somebody everybody in the band loved Bowie.
Yeah.
Everybody.
Full stop.
Yeah. And I think we just had to just everybody. So we I don't know if he'd actually produced anybody before he produced us. He probably had done, and it's something that other members in the band would be really up on. But I kind of just went along with the flow. You know, I never presumed to know that technical stuff. I was it's such a big deal to write lyrics and come up with melodies and do that end of the work.
Right.
Sometimes you really haven't got the brain space to start thinking about the technical aspects of it. You know.
I do know.
So I was always very much that the sort of that end of the sort of production of a record. You know, I was the guy who'd get in and pick up an instrument I'd never seen before and play it.
But you have this weird innate confidence without being boastful or having a big ego that I really admire. Have you always been like that? Probably have.
Don't know.
That's down to your parents. That's good job,
Yeah,
raising.
yeah, my mum. Yeah. I always, like I said, you know, I always felt music was mine. It was something that I was invested in and had some kind of ownership of. Not exclusively, obviously, but I felt that I was part of it, and that made me feel that that I could pick up something and try it out, and I wouldn't make a complete ass of myself.
Well, some people just feel music. I think that Tanner feels music.
Yeah, I mean, you have ideas. You just walk down. Sometimes I'll be walking down the street and I'll hear somebody, you know, hammering, and and you hear a note ringing in the hammering, and I'll start. It'll suggest a melody to me. You know.
But not me. That makes you special. It would not.
It makes me good at my job.
Right.
You know, and I am good at my job. I'm good at melody and tunes and things. That's the one thing I am good at.
You're good at many things.
Well, but that's the one I really like being good at, because it's so beautiful to conjure these ideas out of nothing and come up with tunes that nobody's ever heard before. You know, one would think that all the tunes had been used. They haven't. There's loads of them out there. In fact, that's one of the things with Whoosh I've noticed, is that a lot of the artists that I pick, they pick these in melodies that I've never heard of or anything like them. Just a different approach to what you do with the melody. It's so enlightening, and it's so refreshing, and it's so gratifying as well to know that people are coming up with new ideas all the time, even if it isn't me.
Well, I feel like the fact that you get so inspired by the music that you pick for Whoosh says a lot. It says as much about you as it does for the people who are creating the music. And speaking of creating music, I don't know how. I want to listen to some more, but I'm not quite sure how to say the name of the next track.
All right. I know.
Yeah.
Ngla.
Ngla.
Or
Okay.
NGLA.
Yeah.
But what I noticed about it is it's 3 letters short of England.
Oh, see, I didn't.
I don't know if that's meant to, though. It could be, you know.
I know what it stands for. Never Gonna Love Again. Here
Okay.
I am, the girl with the answers. So this track is by Lolah, and it's produced by
No, it's not. It's by Loah.
Loah, and it's
Loah.
Loah, and it's produced by Bantum, and she's an Irish Sierra Leone singer. And he is a Cork-based producer. And they teamed up on this collaboration, Never Gonna Love Again.
It's great. It's a great piece of music. Very, very... This is exciting stuff, you know. It's you won't have heard anything like this, I promise you.
You won't hear anything like her story because her fortune changed dramatically in light of COVID-19. Instead of immigrating to America to pursue music, she's been working as a pharmacist in Dublin.
Wow.
Making contributions to the survival spirit of the year. And she is doing everything from home. So, Loah, you are a hero. You are essential. And you're putting great music out there. So thank you so much from WHOOOSH.
From us. Yeah, definitely. Very happy to hear it. Okay, well, let's hear the music. Here it comes.
Years ago, you remember where we met? The colors in my hair, the shape of my dress. And here we are, it's the memory you prefer. Your vision of the girl, not the one you're watching burn. If you're sure that you have nothing to give, and you don't miss me when I'm not here, and losing me don't cause you fear. Well, you know, maybe I'm just not here now. Maybe I just can't be loved. Maybe this is all I deserve. I'm never gonna love again. I've got to live without it. I'm never gonna trust it. I've got to live without it. My heart was broken long before I knew I was up for breaking. I'm never gonna love again. I've got to live without it. Oh, you know, your melody is unchained. Your demons are not tamed. I would never take your name. Say it though. Oh, you break me into two. Was it fun to watch me lose? Am I so easy to use? If you're sure that you have nothing to give, and you don't miss me when I'm not here, and losing me don't cause you fear. Well, you know, maybe I'm just not enough. Maybe I just can't be loved. Maybe this is all I deserve. I'm never gonna love again. I've got to live without it. I'm never gonna trust it. I've got to live without it. My heart was broken long before I knew I was up for breaking. I'm never gonna love again. I've got to live without it. I'm never gonna love again. I've got to live without it. I'm never gonna love again. I've got to live without it. My heart was broken long before I knew hearts were for breaking. I'm never gonna love again. I've got to live without it. I'm never gonna love again. I've got to live without it. I'm never gonna trust it. I've got to live without it. My heart was broken long before I knew I was up for breaking. I'm never gonna love again. I've got to live without it. I'm never gonna love again. I've got to live without it. I'm never gonna trust it. I've got to live without it. My heart was broken long before I knew I was up for breaking. I'm never gonna love again. I've got to live without it.
You say we're stupid, I say I'm old. So when did you grow so stupidly cold? Tired snakes on our skin, cold-blooded creatures that can't fit in. Oh, living too fast but going nowhere. Stuck in the past, you lost yourself there. Never speak. Never speak. There ain't no life and such a sweetness you must all spice. Oh, I see a star, the daily grind. You shine your shoes, but Kansas is wide. Oh, never too fast, but going nowhere. Stuck in the past, you lost the silver. Lesbian, young, hard, and handsome, darling. Living too fast, but going nowhere. Stuck in the past, you lost yourself there. Cut it out, another spear. Cut it out, another spear. Cut it out, another spear. Cut it out, young, hard, and handsome, darling.
Wow.
That was Cut Your Hair by Walt Disco. I was sort of hoping that Walt Disco had something to do with Walt Disney because it would just make me
Well,
laugh, but
shares some letters, doesn't it?
it does for sure. They're a
I mean,
six-piece.
I think they're hilarious. I love that.
I love them. They're a six-piece band from Scotland, which I didn't realize. Their album is called, ready? What their album is called? Young, Hard, and Handsome.
Oh, lovely. I mean, there's just such an 80s vibe about that song, I think. There was a band, what were they called? I think it's called Blancmange, of course. Blancmange, the fabulous Blancmange. Yeah, I mean, they've got a vibe of that. And I think that the whole playlist this week is a little bit kind of 80s, sort of, it has a slight skew to the 80s.
A little tinge.
Yeah, certainly
I
the next
heard
track.
a little Martin Fry from ABC.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I heard a
yeah.
little Adam and the Ants.
Yeah,
But
I know what you
not
mean.
Adam Ant, but Adam and the Ants. I love the frivolity of the song, and I
Yeah.
love the video. So if you can watch the video, listeners, find Cut Your Hair by Walt Disco. And while you're looking for it, we're going to take some more questions.
Okay, cool.
My question is for Simon. During the Reflex and live shows, I love and look forward to when Simon asks Nick, why don't you use it? And Nick always has an amusing and clever response. Does Nick share with Simon or the band what he's going to say prior to the show, or are you left to experience the element of anticipation and surprise as we are? Thanks for all the ingenuity and hard work in bringing this show into our lives. It brightens our Fridays. Maria Mendoza Pepin. It's French, you know. We need to make
well, Maria Mendoza Pepin. Yes, it's French, you know. We should. The answer to your question is the second option. We never know. We never know what he's. I never know what he's going to say. I don't know if the rest of the band can even hear it. But it's you know it's. It's so funny. Why don't you use it? Because I left the batteries at home. He's so funny. Sometimes you think he's not gonna say anything, but he just comes up. He actually comes up with it on the spot. The thing is, he doesn't even know what he's gonna say until he says it.
I didn't realize.
I think he doesn't think about it until the beginning of the song, and then he spends a little bit of time, and he figures it out, and he does it then. Yeah, it's amazing. That's one of the things we've done like forever.
Well, I was going to say maybe 5 years ago I realized you guys were doing that. I'm not sure what I thought was going on.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know.
Wow. So maybe some people miss it then, but I mean, honestly, we did. We've been doing that for such a long time, but it's such a nice thing. I don't know. I always get worried about doing the same thing every night. You know, doing things by rote or, using the same kind of inverted commas ad libs. But things like that are different. That's just when it's nice. It's nice to involve Nick, isn't it? Hey,
It is. I have a visitor.
you're jangling.
It's my dog who shouldn't be in here. Hi,
Oh,
hi, Dashy Doos.
Dash.
Dash Doos. Okay, well, let's move on to the next question. Dash just got back from the vet, so he had
Right.
shots today.
Ooh, nice. Tequila.
Yeah, he had a bunch of tequila shots. For Simon, my all-time favorite Duran Duran song is Night Boat because of its feel and structure. Can you talk about how the song was developed from beginning to end?
I wrote it. I wrote it on my. I originally wrote that on my
That's
own.
from
I wrote.
Shalene.
Yeah, I wrote that before I joined the band. It's one of my songs that I brought to the band. Would you believe it? It definitely got developed by the band because I just played it with a nylon string guitar, and that's all so I brought that along. Do 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 do.
What do you think
yeah.
of the video? Shalene is saying she doesn't love the video. She's entitled to her opinion. She loves the song, but the music video is not her favorite.
Well, I think it's like a bit sort of. It's weirdly the video's pre-Thriller,
Right.
and actually we were doing the kind of the zombie shit before Thriller. It's like we filmed it in Nelson's Dockyard in Antigua when we were there. We made that video, and we made the Rio video, and also if you notice at the beginning of the long video that both Roger and I quote Shakespeare.
Roger does?
Yeah,
What's
I quote from Romeo. Queen Mab from Romeo and Juliet, but Roger quotes from Macbeth. You need to watch it again. Yes, he does.
Okay.
Oh, yes, he does. Yes, he does.
Would you steer me wrong? I think.
I think it's a great. I think it's a great song. It actually was originally Waiting for the Night Bus because I wrote it when I was in Birmingham at university, and it's before I met the band, and I was actually waiting for the bus. Mm-hmm. But I thought, then I remembered. I think Madness had a song called "Night Boat to Cairo" or something. Did that come first? And I thought, oh, Night Boat. That makes it a little bit more exotic, doesn't it? Waiting for the night boat, and then of course there's kind of the water. Because the water in the song becomes a really big feature. It's a character. The water, am I alone or is the river alive? Because it echoes me.
I love the song and the video.
Yeah, it's a cool song, isn't it?
I thought
We
the
always
video
used.
was-
Do you know we used to start when we first played our first club shows in Birmingham when I just joined the band. That was our opening number. We had these little kind of mini searchlights on the front of the stage called scanners, and we put a load of smoke in the air, and you see these kind of like searchlight beams going. I walked on with this great big Swedish policeman's coat, and stood there in this smoke, and it looked more like fog. We had dry ice coming off the front of the stage. It was a really weird vibe. It was a fantastic show opener. I think, you know what? I'm going to suggest that we open our next show with Night Boat. That would be something else, wouldn't it?
I learned how to spell the word standing on the edge of the key, Quay.
Yeah.
I learned a new word.
Now, I did that song. I performed that song with Billy Corgan and Smashing Pumpkins. I guess it must have been about 10. How long ago was that? 20 years ago. Maybe 20 over 20 years ago. Okay. Well, anyway, so I went backstage and I went and met them for sound check, and he suggested that we do that song. And Mike Garson.
He
was there.
With you?
Yasmin.
Who else?
Caddy.
That's right.
Caddy Krasner was with me.
Grandner was
So
with you.
and anyway, so I remember we did that song. We were doing the rehearsal in the dressing room, and I was, because we didn't rehearse it on the stage at all. We just literally did it with acoustic guitar in the dressing room, and then we played it live for real. And I remember I went standing on the edge of the quay. I did that kind of yodel, the quay.
Yeah.
And Billy went, oh, easy, 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 easy. So I took that out.
That
yeah,
was
funny.
a great performance. I should find that and post
Yeah.
that. It was great.
Are we talking too much?
No,
Are we
no.
talking too much?
I love the next song, so we can jump right into it.
Okay, why don't you tell us about it?
This is a song called Cremation by a band called Plastic Estate. I would have loved everything about this band in 1985.
Yeah.
They are from Cardiff, Wales.
Yeah.
And they have toured with Murder Capital.
Oh, really? Great, good for them. I mean, I came across this, and I think they've got something like 607 monthly plays on Spotify. Well, we'll change that.
We will. It's sort of the song kind of reminds
It's
me
a
of,
very, very cool song.
it's the greatest. Let's listen.
But hang on, wait a minute. I just want to talk about it a bit more because
Oh,
this
my
is very. I'm very excited about this band. I
Okay.
mean, they've got the the bonus
sweet
track.
spot,
The
yeah.
bonus track is their second track on this week. I love his voice because it's such a surprise when it comes in. You hear the music and it kind of reminds me a little bit of The Cure, I think. The
music.
Yes, it's got a vibe to that, and I kind of was expecting a kind of like a sort of higher, breathier, possibly a whiny sort of voice to come in, which would fit perfectly. You know, that's what you expect. But what you get is something completely different, and I think it's really, really, really worth giving this one all of your attention. Here it comes. This is Cremation by Plastic Estate.
Running from the fire.
That was Cremation by Plastic Estate. We both love this song. We were saying during the break how it really shows that how influential music that came out in the 80s is because people are creating it in 2020.
Well, I actually think that it sounds modern still, and it just I think it, but it is got a very very strong 80s tinge to it, and I think it does stand testament to how sort of innovative a lot of the stuff that happened in the 80s, how innovative it was. That's a great track though. I know they're a band. They've got great musical ideas. They are going to go far, I promise you. But what about that voice?
Well,
What about
you
that voice?
Yeah, you heard The Cure until he started singing, and I heard a lot of the Church. And
I had a little bit of Billy Idol and White Wedding in it as well.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
it reminded me of a lot of things I like.
Me
Is
too.
what basically, or it not reminded me, but sort of it brought to mind it fits in with all those great things.
I thought that I wanted to hear more from them after I listened to it.
Well, you're
That's
going
what I
to
thought.
you're going to hear more of them because the final track is Plastic Estate. Plastic Estate's a good name for a band as well. You know now you know what estate really refers to in this country, don't you?
I do.
It's the same as what you would call the projects.
Right, or council housing. Right?
Yeah. It's the estate. So and in Wales there's a lot of Wales that's really run down. I don't know if they're from a particularly run down estate. An estate can also be like a very grand place with a big mansion sitting in the middle of it as well. But I don't think I personally doubt that's the reference. But Plastic Estate kind of sounds like a estate to me with lots of plastic bags kind of like hanging off the chain link fences and things, you know.
It sounds
Got a vibe.
transitory. Is that the right word?
Transitory.
That's not really the right word, is
Do you know, I was actually sitting next to somebody once, and she was talking. She went, and oh my god, it was just so expensive. It's completely extortionary.
I can't make fun of anybody else's faux pas since I make them with them.
No, I don't. It's okay. It's okay.
Shall we take another question?
Yeah, let's.
This is a question from Jordy Barnes from the US of A, from Portland. My favorite part of the show are any time you both dissolve into joyous, infectious laughter. Laughing is as essential to me as breathing in a lot of ways, and I have go-tos that I listen to or watch when I have a bad day and need a hit of that sweet, sweet laugh.
Okay, let's do a bit of forced laughter, Caddy. Come on, ready? Ready? One. It only takes me 2 or 3 actual laughs, and I'm starting to laugh for real. All right.
I wouldn't say that I'm a big laugher, but when I laugh, I snort. And once I was watching a movie on a plane, and I laughed so hard. First of all, the kids were horrified. It wasn't that long ago.
Right.
And I laughed
Did the popcorn? Did you suck the popcorn up through your
No,
nostrils?
because I was on an airplane, but the stewardess came over and asked if I was choking. Because that's how loud I was. It was everybody wanted to kill me. Anyway, so Jordy says, who makes you and your families laugh? And have you seen John Mulaney's Working with Mick Jagger bit? If not, it's delicious and I highly recommend it. Thank you both for hanging out with us in our collective living rooms with your records every week. Whoosh!
I don't understand what he said about what John working with Mick Jagger.
No, John Mulaney. He's a comedian in the U.S. He must
right.
have a bit called Working with Mick Jagger. We'll have to find it.
Yeah, we will.
But what makes you dissolve into laughter, Simon?
Funny things. Stuff. I mean, surprises. You know, usually it's when something makes you look at something in a different way. The unexpected is really what makes me laugh.
You have a good
You know what I
sense
mean?
of humor, though, and you like to laugh. I know, and you
I
like,
enjoy it. I find it. I think it's like a massaging of your psyche when you laugh.
You like riddles. I know that about you. You like limericks. You like a lot of funny things.
Mm-hmm.
What's your favorite funny movie?
Hot Fuzz, I think, or maybe Life of Brian.
Oh, yeah.
Or there's a few really good ones, but Hot Fuzz is just so funny.
So funny.
I tell you who I love is Will Ferrell. He never ceases to absolutely have me falling about because his humour is really funny.
Do you ever wear the elf sweater I bought you last Christmas?
Oh yes, all the time,
You
Katy.
do not. You're such a fib. You know what I love?
What do you love?
Fart humor. Anytime I can't.
Yes,
I'm like
I know.
A 2-year-old.
I know that's to say that
can't.
any family with children, because farts always make kids laugh, don't they? It's just guaranteed to have them falling about laughing.
I mean,
And I think as it's a great connection that you have. If you can key into their sense of humour and laugh with them,
yeah.
you understand them. It helps you understand them, and it's a wonderful feeling. It really is.
I don't want to embarrass you, but not everybody knows that you're like the greatest dad. But I know.
I thought you were going to say not everybody knows, but you're the greatest farter. Yeah, I farted.
I already told everybody our Nicolette Sheridan, Michael Bolton farting in the elevator story. Simon is a champion tutor. I know.
I'm okay. I'm a much better belcher than I am a farter.
Oh, I sent you your belch.
I'm not,
on your
and
birthday.
I know I got it. Thank you.
I'm going to take another question then. Simon, I am wondering how you became such an ardent fan of football and Manchester United in particular. Is it a family tradition or did you come into it on your own? Thanks, Laura, Tottenham Hotspur supporter. Sorry, not sorry.
Okay, next.
What? You can't do that.
I can. Okay. No, I was
Laura?
every kid when I was growing up, every child was playing football, and you just played it. At sort of, we used to have 3 breaks at school: one in the mid-morning, one at lunchtime, and one in the afternoon. And then I think later on it was just one in the morning and one and then the lunchtime one. And in all that, you always played football in those breaks with either a large ball, a tennis ball, one of those plastic balls that wasn't bouncy with little kind of holes cut out of it, or with a football, with anything you could get your hands on. So that was part of it, and I didn't really have a team until I was about 11 years old, or less. I was 10 years old, and my dad said, "Hey, come and have a look at this." And I went into the back room, and he's watching the black and white TV, and there's this football match going on. And it was the European Cup final, 1968.
Oh, right.
I was 9. I wasn't 10. I was 9 years old. And I watched the second half of the match. And in the end, Georgie Best got the ball, dribbled around the goalkeeper, put it in the net, and they won the European Cup against a very good Portuguese team called Benfica. Mm-hmm. And I thought, that's my team, and that was Manchester United. So I didn't get taken to a football match until I was in my teens. I'd gone to see like local non-league clubs play, but I didn't go to see a proper what was then the first division team until I went up to Old Trafford to see Manchester United on New Year's Day, I think in 1976 or 77. That was my first ever match at a big one, and it was extraordinary. You know, it doesn't matter whether your team is doing well or doing badly. Once you have made that decision, you just don't switch teams. There's a loyalty and a sense of pride as well, because to switch team would be really, it's slightly immoral, I think, inside somebody's head. It sounds ridiculous, I know, but there's something to do with loyalty there. It teaches you loyalty. Even when things aren't going your way.
So what are your
Which
brothers?
it's a very good lesson for life, by the way.
I agree. Supporting a team is like an investment.
Yeah. Loving it. Well, it's like marriage, you know. It's through the good times and the bad times.
So what do your brothers support? Same as you?
David sort of. Well, his girlfriend supported Watford. He doesn't really support United. I'm the United supporter in that kind of generation of the family. But all of my girls support United.
Oh, good.
And we're working on the grandchildren.
Oh, they will. They will.
Well,
it's like,
I mean,
you know,
yeah, he's already got his first Man United kit. So
his gear. Yeah. I mean, Tanner.
It's not me who's. By the way, it's not me who's working on him. It's. There's other people in the mix.
In the mix.
Like his mum.
What about their dad? Does he like Manchester United, or he doesn't care?
I don't think he's really a big. He's not really a big football team supporter. He's not a big football spectator, to be honest with you. He's a music guy, Benji is.
Right.
Yeah.
So my kids love the New York Yankees because their dad loves the New York Yankees, and I think that's pretty much what happened.
Yeah,
You know, if they change their mind. Do you remember the movie 66? Did you ever see that? It came out in 2006. It's a UK Eric Fellner, Tim Bevan movie about a boy whose bar mitzvah takes place as on the same day as the 1966 World Cup final.
No, I have not seen that.
Oh God.
Sounds good though. Is it good?
It was, yeah.
Funny.
Yeah, it was funny. It was sweet.
Good.
It was a sweet little movie. It's called 66. You should
I'll
watch
try
it.
and if I come across it, I'll watch it.
I think you'd enjoy it. So what should we listen to next, my friend?
I want to listen to an artist called Friedberg.
Speaking of bar mitzvahs.
Yeah, Friedberg. Yeah, was it Friedberg? I don't know.
Friedberg.
Friedberg. I want to listen to Friedberg.
I can't see you at all.
Friedberg sounds like something you get from KFC, doesn't it?
I think it's Friedberg, sweet love.
Okay, Friedberg. Friedberg, like sort of, and this bird is that's isn't yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one.
All right, let's not go there. For anybody who doesn't understand, we just made a Lynyrd Skynyrd reference. This is Pass Me On. I don't know what it is. I really like the vibe of this. She's got an attitude. She's got a real attitude, this girl has. Check it out.
You say you have no time. You better hang up. It's alright. We get along without hype. We only live for the nights. You give me just enough to live. You give me never enough to live.
Okay, that was Dreams by a French band, I believe, called Lepee, which means the sword. Well, épée is actually a piece of sports equipment as well, which one uses for a particular kind of fencing. You've got three different weapons in fencing. One is the foil, one is épée, and the third one is saber. And they're different. They're different. They come from different disciplines that people when they used to fight with swords and weapons. Let's not get stuck on that because we're talking about music.
How
Anyway,
do you know all this stuff? Did you ever take fencing?
I was a fencer.
I never
Definitely.
knew that.
Yeah.
Oh, you're tall enough. You should.
So that was, I think, they're a fantastic group. They've made a lot of music, and there's a lot of stuff online to listen to by this band. I think they are really great. They're not just psychedelic, you know. They've got a lot of other strings to their bow.
They are so amazing. I felt like I was maybe watching an episode of Mad Men. If you can, listeners, please watch the video because it was altogether amazing. So this band is made up of Emmanuel Senier from Ultra Orange and Anton Newcomb from the Brian Jonestown Massacre.
Now that just
go.
makes so much sense. The Brian, I thought there's a bit of Brian's Jonestown Massacre in that vibe. Definitely.
This is my song of the week, I think.
Really?
I think it was. Did you know this track was featured on the TV show Killing Eve, which I know you're a fan of?
Oh no, I didn't know that. I'm a fan. Wow, maybe that got into my subconscious that way. I listened to a load of their tracks because I really like the band, and this is the one I thought would suit this show the best. But we will be playing other tracks by Lepee.
I loved it. And before that, we had Friedberg.
Yeah.
Who are probably my people, and they are a 4-piece female band.
Yeah, I like that song very much indeed. Yes,
I do too, and that came out this year. And I was happy to hear them. They're one of the UK's newest and most talked about bands, is what their
that's
bio
cool.
said.
Right. Okay. Well, definitely, I'm talking about her then.
I want to give 2 shout-outs today.
Okay. Cool.
I want to give a shout-out to Lauren Zaleski, one of my dearest friends who I love very much, who's not always feeling well. And she's such a super special friend that I want to say hi to Lauren.
Hi, and I can say hi to Lauren too. Even though have we met?
Twice.
Even
Twice.
though we've only met twice.
She's lovely, and I think you thought she was lovely when you met her. So
Good.
Hi, Skip Mom, we love you. And then one of our youngest Whoosh listeners is a girl named Vivian. Vivian lives in Miami, Florida, and I think she's 9 years old.
9 years old, Vivian, lovely. You'll get listening to this great music at the age of 9. I wish I'd had Whoosh when I was 9.
She's super into it. So when we make Whoosh T-shirts, I think we'll send Vivian one.
Send us a picture, Vivian. We might put you on the T-shirt.
Oh yeah, Vivian's very cute. I've seen pictures and she's adorable. Thanks for listening, Viv. I'll see you soon.
Thanks to everybody for listening, because unfortunately something's happened. We've come to that place again.
No.
It's the bad news place, I'm afraid, Katy.
What? Don't tell me.
I know.
No. Okay, tell me.
Well, I've got terribly bad news for everybody. Then that is that we have come to the end of the show. We've come to the end of Whoosh 29. Is it me or is it you?
And that lyric is from.
Well, I don't have to tell you. I'd be able to identify it yourself.
Well,
We're gonna play out with. This is my favourite track of the week. She's an artist called King Princess, and she's on the Mark Ronson label. She's very successful and very accomplished. Great music, but this one's a little bit different from her usual stuff, I think. It's an extraordinary piece of music. I mean, to the sort of, I compare it to something like Bohemian Rhapsody, because it has scope. It has huge scope. Not the same as Bohemian Rhapsody, but it is comparable. It's a huge epic. This is, and I had to play it. It's just fantastic. So we're going to play out with that one. Of course, after that, the bonus track is by Plastic Estate. It's called This Place. But we're going to leave you with this one. Until next show, which hopefully will be next week, here is the end of Whoosh with King Princess and Ohio.
Has it been in Ohio, babe? Do you think about me when you're going home? 'Cause I've been getting rich, but everything I love is broke. So what's good? Is it me or is it you? Are you getting what you need? Is it hard to roll a J without me laying by your knees? 'Cause I've been getting paid, but my best girl ain't next to me. So what's good? Is it me or is it you? So what's good? Is it me or is it you? 'Cause when I think about it, oh, you're all I wanna do. So what's good? Is it me or is it you? Is it me or is it you, babe? That was a good one.
Got